இன்னைக்கு நம்மளோட இணைய திண்ணைக்கு வந்திருக்காரு குமரன். Kumaran is a motivational speaker, and we have a younger generation of people with us from all around the UK to chat to him. நிறைய நம்ம வந்து இங்கிலீஷ்ல ட்ரை பண்ணலாம்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கோம் இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம். We want to make it in English, so it is more kind of comprehensible for the younger generation in the UK. Normally we think perfection is best in it, but perfection can be an enemy for good, really. We are all made of a lot of imperfections, and we have to learn to embrace the actual process of life and its experience itself. I used to be chasing around perfection as well. And perfection can be a killer. I've done it many a times, and it can tire you out. Time helps us to understand life experiences and not necessarily forget them. Einstein was considered a dull kid too, because our educational systems are judged by people on the same task and not on individual merit. Each one of us have a talent that we need to find out that is within ourselves. So we don't spend the rest of our life climbing a tree thinking we are a fish when we are thought to be as a cool cat of the jungle, really. Winston Churchill said, success is moving from failure to failure with enthusiasm. This is one of my favorite quotes of Winston. So really, motivation is the key to keep us in positive spirit in our quest in trying to understand our own purpose in life and unleash the power within us to change the world in our little way as possible. Kumaran has a multifaceted career at a young age and has made a difference to many people young and old. He drives emotion and passion to around the world in terms of motivating the younger generation. We are hoping our platform will be a starting point for our young motivated people to influence that spirit of positivity in our own special way in our small communities that have been heavily influenced by the corona times. Thank you, Kumaran, for joining our platform.
Thank you.
Aishwarya has got a small introduction for Kumaran.
Hello, thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Kumaran.
Thank you.
இவரை பத்தி சொல்லணும்னா, யாரேனும் உதவி என்று நாடி வந்தால் தன் சிரம் தாழ்த்தி இரு கரம் நீட்டி அவர்களை நம்ம வீட்டு கதிரவனாய் ஒலிக்க வைப்பார். மனிதர்களாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, மிருகங்களாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, மரம் செடி கொடிகளாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, உணர்ச்சிகள் எல்லாவற்றுக்கும் ஒன்றுதான் என்று எங்கும் வலியுறுத்துபவர். சிறியவர்கள் முதல் முதியவர்கள் வரை தனது பேச்சு திறனாலும் காந்த பார்வையாலும் மனதை கவரச் செய்யும் மாயக்காரர் நமது குமரன். இன்று இனிய திண்ணையில் இணைந்து நம்ம வருங்கால செல்வங்களுடன் உரையாட வந்துள்ளார். தேங்க்யூ குமரன் for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Aishwarya, for such a beautiful writing. ரொம்ப அழகா எழுதியிருக்கீங்க.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of effort you've put in. Thank you so very much. Thank you each and every one of you to have invited me here and this whole meeting together. I feel this is all, I don't know, this is all much needed for this younger generation to gather around and share things around. I feel this like I'm here to not just to talk. I'm also here to learn from you all. You're all at the other end of the world. I'm also trying to learn each and everything from everybody. So I think I'm here not just to talk and just to share my point of views and my perspectives. I'm here to share and also listen to you guys and get to know you all and get to know a lot of other things which I don't know. I think that's what keeps us going in life, learning things every day. And as ma'am said, it's not about being perfect. It's always about, you're already perfect. All your flaws together put in, you're already just perfect. So if you just understand that and keep moving forward, I think we'll be just fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Kumaran. Welcome to our team, Inaya Thinnai. We have on board our young students from across the country, from young school-age children to university students, on board the channel of hope and positivity with Kumaran. So the first young man is Akash Ratnam. He's a second-year medical student at King's College London.
Hi, Akash.
We have Akash, do you want to say hello?
It's very nice to be here, and I hope we all have a brilliant.
Hi, Akash. Same here. Same here. Nice meeting you.
We have Paul Sundaram. He's a second year medical student at Birmingham University.
Medical student. Okay. Hi, Paul.
Second year medical student at Birmingham University. Paul, do you want to say hello?
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Paul.
Nice to meet you.
Together with him, we have Dan as well, who's going into year 11 or 6th for GCSE into school, really. Thank you, Daniel. Do you want to say hello?
You guys are friends or brothers?
They're brothers.
We're brothers. We're brothers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
They were motivated to join together.
That's very sweet. Very sweet.
Next, we have Tharani. Tharani.
Hi.
Darling, she's going into year 12, 6th form.
Hi, Tarni.
The youngest person of the panel is Ananya, who's going into year 10. Ananya.
Hello. Hello, Ananya.
And we have quite a lot of young people joining us for the audience discussion. I couldn't get more people because I thought it'll become too complicated in terms of the program itself. So I just got people from across. Ananya is from Peterborough.
All right. All
And
right.
Dharani is from Liverpool.
All right. That's nice.
So the stage is yours, Kumaran. So we thought if you give us a short introduction about your journey of positivity and hope, motivating people young and old around you, then our young panelists will be really looking forward to talk to you through your journey and through theirs as well. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, as I said, I just want to share my journey with you guys from my childhood. I've spoken about this in a few interviews, but not into much detailed way. So I thought I'll share this with you all. Maybe this might help you in some way. So being a kid, I was not very an extrovert. I was a very introvert person from childhood. I'm very choosy with things and all that. But during teenage, like when I was, at this age, the teenage, I got into an accident. Like I had to go through a major open skull operation, which was here. You could see, if you are watching my serial, you could see some mark here. Sometimes it's a huge, open skull operation which I went through, and that operation went through for about 3 days. I think it went on 8 hours for a day, and then next day again 8 hours, and then 6 hours again. And my parents were there. I could see them crying. It was all bits and pieces. All I could see was bits and pieces. They were crying. And then I think they had to sign something like, I may not be fine, I may not come back after the operation. So they had to sign something like that. And the operation went on, and then it took me the operation was successful. I was alive, at least. But then they weren't sure if I could even start talking or even start moving. They weren't sure. The doctor weren't very sure about all that. And then I was just in the ICU, I think for about 2 months, I think. Then I was a little better. I think I was okay to go to the normal ward. But I was all lying down. My parents used to keep crying. I just keep seeing that, and during that time, all I could think about is when I wake up from every morning. When I wake up, all I will want is to see someone next to me, who's there, who will be just next to me. That's all I wanted. I couldn't think of anything else. And whenever I woke up, my dad was just right there next to me, sitting, and he had to go to work, and he used to come early morning, all the way. He doesn't use his much of vehicles. He walks all the way. He's such a man. He walks like along, um, you know. Uh, he comes every morning and sits there for an hour before he goes to work and just stays there, and then he goes. And that particular time, that few moments where whenever he used to just sit with me, it meant a lot to me. It really meant a lot to me. You know, I couldn't want I didn't know what I wanted. I just wanted someone just next to me who just cared, for me. And all that happened. Then I was all fine. I was The doctor came and they wanted to check my whole body. They wanted to see if I had some problem, if I had some, if my one side of the arm didn't work, or one side of me, if I'm not able to see, something like that. They had to check up all that. Then when they woke me up and then they made me walk, the two people held me and they asked me to walk. Then when I tried to walk, I just couldn't move my legs. I just couldn't move my legs. My Even if I wanted to, I don't know, my brain didn't communicate it well, or I don't know what. I just couldn't walk. So that's when I literally broke down and I thought, okay, this is going to be my life. Maybe I'm not going to move around. Maybe this is what it is. Then they said, okay, at least he's alive. Let's see how this goes. And then they sent me home. I had to come back in a wheelchair. And that's how I was all the while. Those days I wanted to be a footballer. I wasn't much interested in media. I wanted to become a footballer. I was very much, interested in sports. But eventually, things happened. I got interested into media, acting, direction, and all that. Then finally, after like 3-4 months, I just couldn't sit. I just couldn't sit there. I wanted to keep moving. I wanted to do the regular things. My parents were scared whenever I got up from my chair. But somehow I just couldn't be there. I just couldn't just stay the way I supposed to be. Then one fine day, when we went to a regular checkup, and the doctors were surprised to see me get up, walk, and they were all really, really, really surprised. And they said, "You're just being normal again. You can do whatever you want." That's how everything ended. And here I am. I could dance. I can do my, acting and whatever I wanted in life. So I realized that everything is in what you just believe. Everything is inside here. If you think you can, you just can. If you think the external factors, the feedbacks, the comments, the negative talks you go through the suggestion you get, the external suggestion you get, it's all comes to belief only if you accept it. So mind and belief is everything, is what I believe. And my life is one big example you guys can take. And I have always thought about that. And if I always think, like, if I'm here today, if I'm alive today, if I'm here, then there's something I need to do. There's something left that I'm supposed to do. I need to find the purpose. That's what I always think. So I need to do some good for the others, for my surroundings, and be it any living beings, as a matter of fact. So that's how I motivate myself. And yeah, here I am. So this is one thing I wanted to share with you all. This is very emotional for me. Yeah, and after all this, after all these things I've gone through, if I'm affected by one small negative suggestion from the outside, from the external world, if someone says, "Hey, you're not good, man," I've gone through so much in my life. Only you know what you have gone through in your life. No one else can know that. So if you accept that, that's where the problem begins. Don't accept that. You know what you are. If you are very sure about what you're doing, what you're going for, you just have to keep moving forward. And one day when you look back, you will be on the top. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for that. It was really a great introduction. Andakalla, how are you dancing now? So well.
I don't know. I really don't know. We sometimes we really don't have to know the process. You just need to know the uh, outcome. That's how it is. I really don't know how it happened, but as I said, I think I believed in myself, and here I am.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Kumaran. I'm going to leave it with the young team to kind of
Sure.
interact with you, if that is
Sure.
okay with you. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
So we've all had a little talk beforehand, and we decided that we wanted to ask you a couple of questions.
Sure, Akash.
One that comes from me and all of us actually during this time is, with COVID, with the virus, with everyone locked indoors, especially
Yes.
with how GCSEs, A levels, so many people's lives have been irreversibly altered. I just want to know what's your advice, what's your take on this? How do we all move forwards together?
The first thing we do is realize why. It's the human animal. Basically, it's us who has got us into this. It's not just the nature. We've always worked against nature. The human. This is the ugly truth that the humans are working against nature, and we need to stop that. There are a lot of factors which we are doing. So sometimes, at times, the nature has to react back. Sometimes the nature wakes us up, and at least then we need to wake up. So this COVID-19 is a wake-up call. This COVID-19 is not the only problem or the issue the humans are facing. There are a lot of other issues that are still yet to come, and we are still ignoring it. That this COVID-19 is visible at this point. There are a lot of other natural disaster which the science is warning us, but we really don't look at it. The only possible way, I believe, is we all stick together and work towards the nature and not against it. And that's how everything works. Everything matters. This is how it is. So we all need to stick together and start thinking about nature and stick together. That's it.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask one more question based on what you
Sure.
Oh, sorry, Paul, did I cut you off?
It's fine. You can carry on.
Oh, okay. Sorry. But I just wanted to ask, just based on what you were saying, you mentioned how this might not be, there are more things to come. What would you say as a generation we have to be, alert for, and we have to be worried about? What do you think is the next problem we may face?
The global warming. Have you heard of global warming? Yes. The climatic change. It's really bad. We have, as far as I've read and I've researched, we just have 10 more years to reverse the climatic change. That's all we have left to fix this, the mess we have done. So we're really late, is what the scientists believe, what I've read. So we're really late. So that's one thing, one major issue we are facing. All the climatic changes are extreme. If you notice, if it's hot, it's too hot. If it's cold, it's too cold. This is not how it used to be. People are dying due to climatic changes. This never happens so often, but now it's very often. Yeah, that's one major issue I would point out. Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Kumaran.
Hi.
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah. Thank you for your talk. Based on what you've talked about this generation and global warming and helping each other together, I was wondering if you could inform us on how our generation, how we should sort of dedicate our skill set. Is it important to follow one streamlined path for their career, or is it important to delve into different skills together, because as we've seen in this COVID-19 situation, people who may just have one job have become unemployed, they've lost things, and they don't have anything to fall back on. As you know, you're a very multi-talented person with your dancing and acting and all these different things you have. Do you think it's important for our generation to learn lots of new skills altogether?
Learning new skills, being announced with a lot of things, being aware. Learning is never going to be a waste. You definitely have to, I don't know, work on multiple things together, because at this generation, there are a lot of competitions, and there are a lot of competitions in any industry, as a matter of fact. So you need to be ready. You need to learn things, but preferably something which you really love, not for paying bills. You get what I'm saying? You need to understand what you really want, what you really love, and then if you could relate these things together, and if you could learn something which are connected, it will really be useful for you. Multiple stream is a must, is what I believe. You should never believe in one single thing. That's definitely yes. Sure.
Hello. Who would you say is your role model? Like, who inspires you to like carry on and make yourself like better?
I have a lot of inspirational examples. Do you know Abdul Kalam, sir? APJ Abdul Kalam. He is my inspiration. Kamal Hassan sir is my inspiration. And Buddha is my inspiration. I learn a lot from these, from their history, but I don't just blindly follow them. I always, if I'm reading a book, I always read it and then analyze it, how the person's mind has worked. Everyone is an individual, everyone is a person, everyone has their own thoughts. It's not necessary it has to work for you. But it's better you learn, you try to understand how bigger minds have worked. So, and then analyze it, and then self-analyze, and then come up to your own vision towards it. So yeah, I have a lot of inspirations. Charlie Chaplin, Michael Jackson, I can go on. Yeah.
Do you have like any idea of how to help with what's going on right now and like global warming as well?
COVID-19, we are already in the stage of curing. We should have prevented it, but I think we're really late. But okay, we need to be careful. That's one thing. About global warming, there are a lot of factors which are creating a mess up there. Fuels, excessive fuel burnings are making such a mess up there. We can control it. We have to control it. We are really, really late. And another biggest factor is the animal farming industry. Do you know what that means? Animal farming industry. Yeah, if you're eating bacon and if you're eating other, non-vegetarian food, that industry is really, really huge. That, yes, they produce a lot of greenhouse gas, and which are really, really bad for the global warming. They are the main cause for the global warming. I think it contributes around 18% of the greenhouse gas emission. So that's really bad. So I think it's going beyond control. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying you should just stop, but control is what we can do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So I know you were once young like me, and I'm currently 15 years old. So I was wondering if you had any advice on how to deal with like negative feedback and stress during your school and teenage years time, and how to deal with motivation and how to stay motivated.
Yes. Negative feedbacks. Dealing with negative feedbacks, if see, it's very simple. If you have to real, if you have to, you should be able to analyze if the feedback is just a rude feedback, is if it's just, you know, if they're trying just to tell you, hey, you're not good, or if they're trying to tell you a constructive feedback. You have to analyze the, you know, that first. If it's like, look man, this looks bad, but you could try this, that's different. And then you have the choice to analyze yourself and recorrect yourself. Yes, and that's good. A constructive feedback is good. If it's just a negative feedback, just rude, you just need, I think you just need to ignore it. Because if once it enters into your thought process, it, you know, consumes you. It consumes your energy. So if you think, if you analyze that this is bad, just walk away. That's what you can do. If, say, if I'm giving you something, if I'm giving you a gift, if you don't take it, is it yours or mine? It's mine. So it's my problem. If I'm giving you a feedback, negative feedback, and if you don't take it, then it becomes my problem. You're cool. So that's how you deal with it. Thank you, man.
I just wanted to ask, what would you say is the one mentality that plagues the most people, the one mentality that we need to get rid of as a society?
I feel the human animals, we are social animals. That's what I believe. I always call that, sorry. We consume the earth in every way, each and every possible way. I think we need to stop thinking that way. That's one quality. I think we think we are superior, we know everything, and everything is ours. That's what we believe. I'm talking about the whole human mind. That's one quality I would think we need to get rid of. Yes. Yeah.
What personal qualities do you think people should develop? Like, what do you value as a personal characteristic?
Compassion towards all living beings is what I think one should have. Completely. That's what I believe in. All living beings, as a matter of fact. One should develop one. If someone is compassionate, if they should be able to love each and everything around them. And I think that's one basic, much needed quality one should develop. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the education system? Do you think it should change, or is it too focused on exams and it should change to other stuff?
Well, I was not a bright kid during my schooling, but I knew what I wanted. So education is good. I'm telling you, education is good, but the system depends on, you're living in a different country and we are living in a different country. It's totally different how it works. Both our educational systems are completely different. So that depends. But education is the key. I think that's the key for everything. That's definitely.
If there was one thing that you could go
Yeah.
back and change about any aspect of your life, what would you go back and change, and why would you do so? I think it's a really interesting question to ask people.
I would try to run faster. I wish I had achieved this much earlier. I'm still running towards my goal, and maybe there were times I wasted, and I realized it someday, and I think I would not waste a day, and I would try to run much more faster, and I would try to achieve my goal much more faster. That's what I would have tried to do, definitely.
On that topic, do you think sometimes when we have no goal in life and we don't know what we want to do or want to run slower, do you think that is important for us to understand ourselves, understand our identity, what our weaknesses, our mistakes are, reflect on all our actions? Do you think that could be beneficial in any way?
As I told you, I wanted to be a footballer in the beginning, and then I thought I would. Then I, thought I should get into media. Then I wanted to do direction. Then I got into acting. So I believe, as a teenager at least, you should be able to try. You should be able to try multiple things, anything. As a matter of fact, you cannot decide. You cannot decide. Okay, this is what I'm going to be. In teenage, it happens. You think this is what you want to become, and then you try to achieve it. Then you fail. I think that's really important, to fail and get back again, and fail and get back again, and then realize, okay, this is not what I want. And then you try different things. I think that's the way you reach success. That's the way you get really successful. That's really important, to try and fail. So it's really not necessary that you just stay okay and decide this is what you want to be. It's not really necessary that you decide immediately. That it really can't happen that.
How do you determine success?
How I determine success? I believe the process is success. I don't believe that as a destination. I believe it's a path. You fail, you get up, and then you still keep moving on. It's important to get up again and walk with a smile. That's more important. If you have to fall, you have to fall forward, one step closer to success. That's how you have to fall. And if you're falling forward, you get up with a smile and you say, okay, I'm one step closer to success. You just need to smile and walk forward. You need to enjoy the process, enjoy the path. Otherwise, you will end up chasing something which does not exist, and your life just ends. And then you look back, you would have been grumpy your whole life. Yeah.
How do you have a control on all the ways you lead and your anger, and how do you have a control on all these things at the same time?
How do I control my anger? And?
Yes. On all the aspects, in whatever you're doing a lot of things. So how do you bring it under your control, and you try to manage yourself with doing all there's a lot of different things what you do.
Yeah. Okay. On anger, I believe as I told you just before, if someone tells you something, if you accept it, if you take it personally, that's when you react. I don't take anything personally. I don't know. Because I believe I know what I've gone through my 15 years. I believe what I have achieved, where I have failed. I believe I know what I've gone through, and no one else knows. I can't expect anyone else to know what I've gone through. And how will I expect them to be nice to me? So it's very common to when people give you negative feedbacks or comments, or you get affected, but only if you take it, it becomes personal. And if someone else can decide what you have to go through, like if someone else can decide okay, I'm going to make this person angry, I'm going to make this person happy. If someone else can decide what we want to do, how we have to react, then I think that's a really bad thing. We need to get things in control. That's what I believe. So don't let anyone else control your emotions. Control your own emotions. That's what I believe in. So that's how I be in control always. I believe, okay, they don't know, let them talk. So that's how I react usually. And
Thank you.
about all the other works, multitasking, I think there are only two things. Either you want to do it or you don't want to do it. You know, if you want to do it, you will get things right and you will organize everything and you will be able to do things. Even if it's like multitasking and doing a lot of things together. The key is to love what you do, and then you will be able to do it. If you ask me to get up and go to school and keep, doing something which I don't really, I'm bad at maths. If you keep pushing me to do that, then it's tough. I won't be able to sustain it. So if you love what you do, I think you will be able to organize everything together and be able to achieve it. Yeah.
Do you think we subconsciously stereotype people we meet in life?
Yes, we are all being judged in some way or the other every day by our looks, by the things we do. But that's how the whole world is. That's the way we have to go through this. And as I told you, if you know what you're doing, and if you're well aware of what you're doing, if you have someone who's next to you, if you have someone whom you inspire, who are inspired of, who's taking care of things, okay, see, this is what it is. And if you have some godfather type kind of a person who can guide you, or if you know sometimes you know everything by yourself. If you know what you're doing, and if you know what you're doing is right, then you don't have to worry about people judging you. You don't have to really care about them. It's all under the same negative comments and feedbacks. It's all one single thing, which even the judging thing it's all the same thing. So only if you take it becomes an issue. Yes, we have to go through this, but never take it personal. That's the only key.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I thought we should open it up to a couple of questions that people have been sending into the chat. So I thought I'd just read one out. This is from Sean. My question is, how do you deal with pressure from your parents or bullies, mainly pressure?
Okay. I think pressure is what pushes you to, achieve more, do more, run more faster. I think if you're in a comfort zone, if you're comfortable with what you do, what you have, then I think the dream just dies there. Pressure is all we need. They say an empty pocket can teach you a lot of things. So I think pressure is good if you take it in a positive way. I had a pressure. My dad always wanted to see me as a TV star, as a hero in films. And he was, I don't know, his health wasn't getting any better. So I had a pressure that I wanted to become what he wanted. Of course, even I love media. I wanted to do direction and acting. So it was my ambition too, but I wanted to do it a little more faster because I want him to see that. And I can convince him. I can't convince his age, and I can't convince his health. So I had to run faster. So pressure is good, I think, if you take it in a positive way, and I think it's good. That's how everybody does it.
Someone else from the chat box has asked a good question.
Yeah.
Is hiding our pain in ourselves good? Is that beneficial, or?
Hiding pain?
Yeah, hiding pain.
I think you have to have someone whom you should share things. I think you need to share. You need to let it out. usually men have this habit of controlling things and keeping things inside. That's one psychological thing men have. Women always share. Women always uh, form in groups and they talk and they share. They cry. It's it's easier for them. But if they share, is what I'm talking about. But men tend to bottle it up. But I think hiding and bottling it up is really not a good thing. We need to share it to someone at some point and let it out and let it go, and then at least understand, okay, it's fine. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel bad. And that's the way you let things, go. It's never a good idea to hide things.
On that question, I
Yeah.
just like to add, do you think maybe, I mean, yeah, stereotypically, maybe men don't want to share their emotions because over the past few hundreds of years, they've typically been known as the breadwinner, or they've
Yeah.
typically been known to do the things, even though this is all changing in the 21st century.
Yeah.
You think that's because of the way it's always been, or do you think because men feel like they have to own up to this standard, they have to show themselves as their like pride or ego or strong?
Yeah. I think we're all wired that way. I believe we're all wired differently. Like men and women are wired differently. Okay, I have doctors here, but still, uh, I think we're all biologically different. That's how we are made. As you said, we are the breadwinners and they are the nurturers. So we've always been that way. Our ancestors have always been that way. So men tend to hide their feelings and they want to look macho. So that's even the 21st century. We are still what we are and we are still what we were. Even though we look different, even though we try to be different, but at some point we always, I think we stay how we were, and it's fine to be that. The differences, I think we should enjoy the differences. It's nice to be different, and men and women are different, and I think we need to enjoy those differences.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a question for you.
Please.
You are a great influencer, actor, dancer, creator, most importantly, an animal lover. Nowadays, we don't find people who are humanitarian even, but you're an animal lover, environmentalist, addicted to humor. Which part of this you want to be more of, and what less of?
I definitely want to be an environmentalist first. I want to care about.
So you can look after everything, all living creatures.
Yes, definitely. That's what I all want, because that's what we are first. We are first a human, and we need to care for each other. That's the basic. I think that's the basic thing for a human. And I know now it's really sad that it's become an extra. It's become an extra curricular activity. It's become a social activity to love. I think it's the basic necessity of a human being to love everything around us. So that's what I will choose.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I think a good question that I saw pop up a few times in the chat was how to overcome stage fear and stage fright.
Stage fear?
Yeah, just fear of not being able to deliver. Practice
is the key. I've done more than 1,000 shows. I think so. I still fear the stage, and every time I go onto the stage, I have this fear. I always sit isolated. I always think, okay, I can do this. I'm gonna do this, and if I have to reduce the fear, I don't know, I've never overcome that fear, and I think that fear is good, because you know why? That fear makes me work harder and practice hard. I prepare more. If I have to dance, I prepare more than anybody, I think I'm very particular about my practice sessions. So that reduces the fear there, but it never fades. And I don't want it to fade because the fear keeps me, more informed, and it keeps me practice more. I want to be perfect on stage. So I want to practice more because I don't want to be scared. I don't want to mess up. I think that fears, I think it's good. Yeah. And the practice, as I said, practice is the key.
Well, Mr. Kumaran, thank you for this lovely interactive session. This is more of a comment as a mother of my boys, Paul and Daniel, and as a friend of Dr. Gomati and Dr. Sridhar.
Thank you, ma'am.
This is a really nice platform for young children, young teenagers. So really want to thank Dr. Gomati and Dr. Sridhar, and to you. You have a great following, and you do a lot of good work with no food waste, environmental cycling, reducing plastic. So keep going. I think youngsters
thank you so much, ma'am.
So that's more of an encouraging comment. Thank you. Thank you for doing it.
Thank you so very much. Really means a lot. Thank you.
I saw this question from the audience, and what would you suggest to help keep people motivated? Because as a teenager, I know it's very easy to get distracted. So what would you suggest people stay on the right path and keep motivated?
Keep motivated. Okay. If you've understood what you really want, what you want to become, what you really love, if you've done that part really well, if you've analyzed what you really want to become, you want to be a singer, you want to be a star, you want to be a doctor, if that's what you really love, and if you start imagining it, if you start visualizing it as achieving it, I think that's the best motivation one could ever get. I always visualize, okay, I want to be a star. Okay, that's what keeps me moving. When I wake up, I'm like, okay, I need to become what I want. And I think self-motivation and auto-suggestion is the best motivation one could ever get. You don't need anyone else to be, to keep you motivated. You can motivate yourself just by visualizing and imagining what you really want to become. Yeah, that's it.
So this is from the chat. Do you really think being calm always solves the issue or the problem?
Being calm?
Yeah, being calm.
Okay. Sometimes, okay, answer me this. There are fights. You're in a fight. People are quarreling. People are yelling at you. Will responding to it when people are in high temper, if responding to it will make it easier, or staying calm will make it easier?
Staying calm.
Got the answer. There are two questions. Like, if you, as I told you, if it's just a comment, okay, you're doing this, man, this is wrong, this is bad. If they just want to poke you and point at you, you just need to ignore that. If they ask you something, see, this is what we believe, this is what it looks like, and do you have an explanation? That's when you can talk. If you're being judged already, if you're being, pointed out if you're being misjudged, you don't need to, answer each and every single person. There's a saying from Buddha: be a nice man, don't waste time proving it. Don't waste time proving it to everybody. I think I'm following Buddha. Thank you.
Hi, you are a multi-talented person. You sing, you dance, you act, you write songs, everything you do. How do you manage your time? How do you prioritize your work?
Yes. As I told you, this is what I really love. I love to dance. I love to act. I love to keep learning things which is related to the topic with the industry which I'm in. I want to be ready for when the opportunity comes. I want to be ready. I want to be 100% ready. I don't want to be lacking anywhere. So I keep learning things. I experiment things. You say I'm writing lyrics. I'm experimenting. It's not an examination. Even if I fail, I'm ready to fail. I'm ready to be. I don't know if someone is saying, "Hey man, you're not good at it." I'm ready because I'm just trying. So, but all these things I'm doing it for myself. You understand? It's making me happy. I'm trying all this because it makes me happy. It makes me stay motivated. And I want to put in all the energy, all the time into one, single point, which is like moving towards my goal. If I've decided this is my goal and I'm trying to do each and every single, I'm trying each and every way possible to achieve my goal. And if you really love what you do, I think you'll find time. But there are a lot of other things which I say no for, which people don't see. So I'm very choosy picking up my work. I'm very choosy in doing my projects. I've said a lot of no to bad films. So I'm very choosy. So that's the way it is. If you love what you do, I think you'll find time.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kumaran, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Some know you as Kadir, some know you as motivational speaker, but many of you know you as a dancer. So, okay. But you never had a proper dancing lesson or that sort of kind. So you had a guru in your mind and you trained just by seeing his dance.
Yeah.
Can you share that experience with us, please?
Yeah. I don't know. Those days in Chennai, there weren't much dance classes. We didn't have much of great dance classes where I could go and learn things. And also, I somehow started learning everything all by myself. If you get the interest, if you get the passion towards something, I think you can learn it all by yourself. So it's not just Prabhudeva. I've learned from each and every single person who I've watched on televisions and on theaters. I think they're all my teachers. And if you really love what you do, if you really want to do it, you always find a way to do it. And I found my way. I didn't have the access to go to an acting class. I didn't have the access to go to a dance class. So I've created my own opportunity, and that's how everything is. And if I'm resembling my gurus at times, and I still be proud. And yes, that's how it is. Yeah.
And can you share your experience of meeting Prabhudeva in the dance show and getting appreciation from him?
Yep. When he came for the show, I actually saw him virtually. He wasn't actually there. He was actually outside the stage. He was in a caravan, and he was on live like this, and then he spoke to us. But still, he was just outside the stage, in the caravan. When he spoke to me, I just couldn't believe that I was actually talking to him. So that's when I realized that if you really think and if you imagine what you want to become, if you really know where you want to go, and if you imagine it things happen. Things become real. Imagination becomes real, and it became real. But then not fully. I always wanted to work with it. So I didn't want to go meet him in a shooting spot as a fan, not as a, I don't want to go meet him and take a photograph. I didn't want to meet him that way. I wanted to meet him in a different way. I wanted to meet him for work. And that's what happened. I wanted to be a director, so I had to join as an assistant director. So I've got an opportunity to go see him. He was hiring an assistant. So he called, I got a call from his office, and I went there, and he was just sitting there. And when I entered, I just couldn't believe I'm actually meeting him. But then when he saw me, he said, "Oh, this guy, he dances well." That's what he said. And that was like, wow, he has seen me. I never thought he saw my show, but he's watched my show, and he said he's good. And I told him what I believed. I said I wanted to work with you, and I will work with you. Unfortunately, we couldn't work for that film, but I'm still trying to achieve what I want. I'm gonna work with him soon.
You will
Somehow.
definitely want. Yeah.
Thank you.
Next on your animal lover part.
Sure.
Animal lover sideல நாங்கெல்லாம் வந்து தேல் வந்தா அதை அடிக்க தான் பார்ப்போம். You put it in a bottle and take it to the field.
Yeah.
நாங்கெல்லாம் தேல் வந்தா வீட்டை அடிக்கதான் செய்வோம். ஆனா நீங்க அதை பாட்டில்ல போட்டு அதை கொண்டு போய் ஃபீல்டுல எல்லாம் வச்சு அதுக்கு ஒரு வழி கொடுக்குறீங்க. தென் எனக்கு பர்சனலா உங்களை திரும்பி பார்க்க வச்ச விஷயம், இந்த லாக்டவுன்ல நீங்க வந்து all stray animals you made sure they had food supplies throughout in the initial stages of lockdown.
Yes.
How did you come up with this?
It's not new for me. I've always been doing that from the time I was a teenager, from the time I was a back dancer. Whatever I had, whatever I could, wherever I am, if I see some animal, and my mind instantly goes to there, the attention goes there, and I always think, okay, see, animals have territories. If you want water, you will be able to ask. But animals, they have a territory. They can't go beyond a certain space. And imagine you have to find water within your territory, and your mouth is shut. That's how difficult we have made their life. You understand? If there were no such big, huge buildings, if the technology hasn't grown so much, the world will be totally different, and they will be able to get what they want. But this is what we've made the world into. And okay, it's fine if it's for our good. But at the same time, we have to take care of the left out things too. So they become our responsibility. You have made a whole different world, and they are lost. And the scorpion was lost. What would you do if you're lost in an alien ship? You would want the same thing. You would just say, just leave me alone. That's how I hear things. If animals do talk, only if you listen, and I try to listen.
Thank you, Kumaran.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think that we're coming up to time, so I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for this hour of your time, this hour of your wisdom, just on behalf of myself and the rest of our panel. It was a real pleasure meeting you and listening to all of your kind words.
Thank you so very much, Akash. It's nice. You've taken so much effort to stay here and to listen to me, and it's kind of you. At this age, you have this patience to sit and listen to something and make use of your time in a productive way, and I really appreciate that, and I'm sure you're going to make it big, man. Thank you.
Kumaran, that was fascinating, Kumaran. And
Thank you, sir.
we just enjoyed it. There's an old saying which says you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but some old dogs can learn new things as well. Thank you very much for that.
Very sweet of you, sir.
It's you started off with your personal journey, and I'm a doctor, I'm a surgeon.
Yes.
So I'm on the other side of the table taking consent from parents or the patients. But if there is one single thing which makes you make that decision saying, yes, we will do this risky operation, it is the motivation and the fire in the patient. If the patient thinks they will walk out and do what they want, come what may the odds are,
Definitely.
the stats are, that patient will walk out. And that's exactly what you have proven. And it's fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
You've used your own illustration to motivate the young kids, because the best thing to motivate somebody is to tell them, walk a mile in my shoes, அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. And that's exactly what you've said.
Thank you, sir.
One of the interesting challenge most of the kids here, at least the ones logged in from UK, face, and this is what Tarini asked you as well, the stereotyping. Just because you're brown,
yes,
you're stereotyped. And you've given them all beautiful answers to actually look inside. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Very nice of you. Very sweet of you.
One good advice to the humanity, towards humanity. One good advice from your end.
Humanity. That's that I think that's where we lack. I think that's what is lost. We have started to think more mechanical. We have started to think, and we have stopped to feel, is what I believe. You know, we have started to forethink, but we have to feel first. I remember this wonderful quote Charlie Chaplin said: "We think too much and feel too little." If we start feeling things around us, if we start feeling everything, I think that's more than enough. There's just one small story I want to tell all the kids here, because the topic is about criticism, so that they can remember this. Because I always believe if I don't know some smallest story, and so the person who you would think, this person, okay, sometimes they inspire me. Being a kid, so you know, there was a painter in the street. He has done a beautiful art, and he has kept the paint on the street, and he's left a note saying, okay, if you see anything wrong in this painting, he's done a beautiful painting, and he left the painting just there, and he's left a note there saying, if you find anything wrong in this painting, please feel free to, you know, put a mark, put an X on all the places where you find it's not right. And he's left the painting and he's gone out. And the next day he comes and he's shocked to see the whole painting is covered with X marks. And then he feels very devastated, and he cries, and he feels, I thought I was a nice painter. I was a big painter, and I was a big artist, but look, I have so much flaws. People think my whole painting has, you know, flaws. And he goes to his master and says, see, this is what happened. And then the master comes and he takes him to the same place and takes the same replica, you know, of the same painting, and keeps it there and leaves a note saying, if you find anything wrong in this painting, please feel free to correct it. And next day, he just leaves the note with the painting. They both leave, they come back. And then when they come back, the man is surprised. The painting is just the way they left it. You know, it's just the way they left it. There are no marks. And then the man asks his master, how is it possible? You know, the master replies, it's always easy to criticize, you know, but tough to improve. people can easily criticize. They can do a lot of X marks, but if you ask them to correct it, improve it, do it by themselves, they step back. So you know what you've done. When you know what you've done, when you know what you're right, what you're doing is right, just sit back, relax, and keep moving forward. This is what I wanted to share with you all. And thank you all of you for this wonderful time. And I'm really happy that these young people have the patience to sit and do such a positive and meaningful session like this. I'm really surprised and really happy for this, and I really think they're all going to make it big.
Thank you, Kumaran. I can't believe how 1 hour and 15 minutes have gone by.
Thank you.
Change is the only certainty in this world. I think once you embrace it with positivity, we can deal with any uncertainty of life itself. Thank you for those powerful kind of words to our younger generation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Inaya Thinnai want to thank you, Kumaran, for the time in interacting with our younger generation in the UK. We hope our journey has just started together in making a small change to the community we belong to. And we hope we could be part of your journey as well in our little way as much as we can. But I just want to share a few words with the rest of the audience. We need to stand up when suppressed, humble when facilitated, silence when critiqued, kind when loved, and the whole universe is going to work with us all to be ours for the future. இனிய மாலை பொழுது இனிய கழிய இணைய திண்ணையிலிருந்து வாழ்த்துக்கள் மாலை வணக்கம் நன்றி குமரன் உங்களுடைய டைம்க்கு again
thank you so very much.
Thank you, Kumaran. I'm hoping the team Inaya Thinnai, both the young and the old, will join you on your one facet of your journey, hopefully from the UK, and try to mirror some of the good work you're doing along with you. If we can join on your positive journey.
Definitely. I would love to be a part of Inaya Thinnai from now on. I would love to be associated with you all. I think whenever I get time, I would try to spend some time with you all.
Thank you so much. So this was actually started as a group during the Corona times so that we could engage our community in a different way, learn a new skill, learn from somebody who's doing a good job. I mean, get motivated from the world around us, like people like you, and trying to get the younger team on board because nammaloda generation வந்து நம்ம motivate பண்ணோம் இல்லையா. So I was hoping to get all the younger team on board as well. I'm hoping the younger team will communicate with you, to join you, to follow you along the journey of love and driving the positivity forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. Thank you all of you, each and every one of you.
வணக்கம் குமரன். அடுத்த வாரம் நம்மளுடைய இணைய திண்ணையில வந்து robotics கணபதி ஆர்னோ robotics பத்தி ஒரு பண்றாரு, product analysis and technical consultant. He's also leading the R&D department in LED display system. He's actively managing in PCB design and programming. He's motivated a lot of students from 40 engineering colleges, and he has designed embedded controlled electric vehicles during his training. So we're going to have a huge kind of a positive robotic session next week. So thank you all. See you soon in another positive journey with another positive person. Team Inaya Thinnai wants to thank you all.